Flooding the market, a break from the garbage. An artist, sensitive about mind pardon. No margin for error, flawless be bearer. The black cat goddess, you walking with a panther. Painting these pictures with words like Samantha, MacGyver. Alchemy on the track, make it lava. And I won't stop rocking till I retire. Singular or plural, she break numero uno. Colder than you know.
Hey, it's your girl, Madam Money, aka Trap, and welcome to the official Salt in the Game album review of DMX's Exodus. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let's get it. Now, we are all still shocked at the untimely passing of DMX. Now, he had been talking about this album, you know, every chance that he had. He was really proud to put out a new body of work, even though we've seen him floating around here and there doing things. But it was really amazing and awesome to see that his versus battle, you know, really got him into the mood of getting in the booth again. And Swiss Beats, who else would be able to, you know, craft the best possible album for DMX before his passing. Now, I ain't gonna hold you. You know, I came into this particular project with just a clearer, like, thought process and vision on this, because I want to try to be as respectful as possible in case it did not turn out how we all expected it to be. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to remain that way throughout this process. I'm going to just let you know that shit right here and right now. So, you feel me? To all the, you know, fans and friends, like, forgiveness, please, right at the beginning of this. But some of this shit I took my time with this too. You feel me? You see how late I'm coming in. You already know that I'm one of these that I be on it. And I was like, you know what? I really ain't even want to do the review because of some of the things that was going on this album. But you feel me? Gotta do what you gotta do. So let's get right into it. First track on here, That's My Dog, featuring the Locks. And they have like such a long, you know, relationship with each other. You know, Money, Power, Respect, and Blackout off of DMX album, and you know, all these other things. We just seen DMX on the Locks album, you know, on About Shit. You feel me? That's when we just, you know, got like a video glimpse to see that the dog was still out here, you know, getting his paws wet in the game. You feel me? 24 Hours to Live and all these things. So they have a real good relationship with each other, and I was not entirely mad that it started out like this. I'm really upset at Sheek Luke's verse on here. Like, Jadakiss, he delivers. Styles, he delivers. Sheek is coming in the middle of this. I don't know, man. That didn't really set the tone properly for me on here. I do like DMX on here taking a shot at, you know, all the, you know, little niggas around. You feel me? Motherfuckers jeans too tight to be fucking with the dog. You feel me? Just a different era. Like, you know, you can't play around with them like that. You feel me? At all. Your jeans too tight, son. You heard? Next track on here, Bath Salts, featuring Nas and Jay-Z. Now, I know that this track, you know, we first heard this in you know, the precursor to versus Timbaland versus Swiss Beats, and Swiss brung out this track or whatever had everybody, you know, up in airs before all of this stuff happened. I don't like the fact that, you know, it's a new Nas verse on here versus a old Hov verse on here. But this is still like like Hov in his prime type verse. But, you know, just a lot of the things that was going on, you know, Sprite endorsements and all of this shit is dumb old. You feel me? The beat on here, just, you know, repetitive, like, warning type of situation over here going on. But I didn't think that, like, that beat really matched up the words that was being said on there, because like I said, it's a warning, so it's supposed to be a little bit more hungrier than what was going on there. But I appreciate Nas' verse on here. I appreciate what DMX brings to the table. I wish they would have gave Hov the opportunity to redo his verse on here. But moving right along, so I figured that Swiss, between these two songs that came out, I figured that he's trying to, you know, bring some of the old in with the new. You feel me? Just doing these type of first two tracks on here where we're not hearing all of DMX, you know, opening his album and all of these things like this with the first two tracks. That he's trying to, like, introduced us to DMX, which we really don't need a reintroduction to him. You feel me? Real niggas never fall off. But the next track on here, Dogs Out, featuring Lil Wayne, and this is where I got really, really upset. Because what Switch tried to do here, he created his own cheat code. Now, I know y'all heard of the track with Lil Wayne, Uproar. You feel me? That flips the special delivery beat. Well, I feel like this is a flip on Uproar and trying to bring that same level of I don't know, because Uproar was such a hit between Wayne and Swiss, that I think he tried to bring those same type of elements into this track with DMX and Lil Wayne, and that shit just did not work for me. Period. You feel me? I said something real crazy on this piece of paper. I really don't want to say it. You feel me? If you want me to tell you, you know, I'll tell you in the comments below what I said on here. I'm trying to be as respectful as possible and not call people a whole bunch of shit. I want to just call Swiss Beats right here, right now. Swiss Beats, you're a fucking dickhead for this shit. I'm gonna tell you that. You're a dickhead for a lot of the sounds that's going on here, because I'm on to you, my nigga. I ain't beat. Next track on here, Money, 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 and this is featuring Moneybagg Yo. And come to find out, with, you know, reading all the articles and stuff involved in here, that this was originally supposed to have Pop Smoke on it. And it's kind of weird, you know, to have had DMX and Pop Smoke on the track together, and both of them had, you know, untimely passing and stuff. But, you know, I wasn't mad at Moneybagg Yo on here. Pop Smoke couldn't be on there because they had already used the verses. So I respect Swiss in saying, you know, he don't want to use a Pop Smoke verse that was already heard, already used, or whatever have you. And I wish that Pop Smoke's team would have left this in the, like, right there, because that would have been like a crazy, like, eerie type of thing. But, you know, something just a little bit probably more banging than this right here. You feel me? I do want to add here, everything sounded kind of noisy on this track too. So I don't know. It's weird, because I listened to the album a couple of times and I found myself not being able to listen to the whole album, like, except for my first listen on it, that when I went to go listen to it again, I had to stop like every couple tracks, just because it was like too much going on, but not enough of DMX was going on. So we're gonna continue on this. Next track on here, Hold Me Down, featuring Alicia Keys, and this is DMX's most personal bar so far on this project. You feel me? When you say Hold Me Down, I instantly think of, you know, the Alchemists and Mobb Deep, you know, Hold You Down. And that's not up to this level here, but this is a very, very personal track. I didn't find anything wrong with it. The next track on here is Skyscrapers, featuring Bono. And this is another personal track, and I kind of like this track a little bit better than Hold Me Down. You feel me? I just like the approach to this a little bit better than what they managed to do on Hold Me Down. So just to put that out there. Next track on here is a skit. You feel me? With the up in here beat. Just like I said, little things trying to get you re-familiar with the work DMX had put in, because I know on this album he wanted to try to introduce new fans to him as well. You feel me? We come into a really crazy part in the game where, you know, a lot of hip-hop heads, like, this is past their prime. This is even, you know, really, really past their prime, when DMX was hot. So he's trying to reintroduce people into the work that he's put in for the newcomers, you know, new niggas on board. And I ain't mad at that. It was alright. It was cool. Next track on here, Hood Blues, featuring Griselda, Westside Gunn, Benny the Butcher, Conway. And you know what? DMX sounds really, really good in Griselda's world. Like, he stepped into their world. This is like the closest we got to the X that we love, like that gritty intensity. You feel me? Because even though, like, X is tried and true a golden era rapper, that he's able to, you know, party, he's able to do girls tracks, he's able to do gritty tracks, but he sounded really, really good against this. And I have to shout out Avenue Beats, you feel me, for like helping Swiss with this sound here, because otherwise we would have got another one of those, just, I don't want to call it quintessential, but, you know, Swiss signature beats on here. And I really, really like this. I'm gonna be real honest too. At the end of the track, you know, DMX, he's talking this shit. He's like, I'm not 50 50 years old for nothing, and I like really was taken back by that because it's really really hard to deal with somebody just passing when you've seen them try to be like get back in the game and like shoot themselves back up in the game really really hard. So I really did appreciate that little just him popping shit, but it was kind of bittersweet at the same time. Next track on here, Take Control, and this is like a great surprise on this whole album, like for real. This is featuring Snoop Dogg. They're using the Marvin Gaye sample. You know Marvin Gaye don't play when it comes down to his shit. I hope y'all got everything clear correctly, you feel me? But this was really, really nice, really, really dope because just like I said, DMX, he could play into that girl's world. He got Snoop along with him, and Snoop is that same, again, golden era rapper where they could cross into these lanes and it doesn't seem like they're forcing the issue any on here. I do want to point out, too, the best beats on this particular project are like Swiss Beats with a co-producer. Like, I just want, like, if y'all dig through the credits and stuff like that, the best beats on here is definitely co-produced. The ones that is just Swiss Beats on there, they sound like kind of dated, and they might be dated and all of these things going on. And like I said, just give you that signature Swiss sound. And it's like, you know, dog, we in 2021, we appreciate, you know, what you did in the past. I don't see an elevation from him personally on this album production wise. That's what I'm trying to say. You feel me? I'm getting good at this. That's what I'm trying to say. Next track on here, it's crazy because it's just like next, like those last 4 tracks on here. Walking in the Rain, featuring Nas and Deshaun, and Exodus Simmons, which is DMX's son. You hear him speaking on there. It really like ties into the album name, you know, Exodus. If you really read the passage of what Exodus 1.7 is, it's really the, you know, Israelites was like, you know, I don't want to say, it's not like be fruitful and multiply, but it's along those same lines. So I'm just gonna leave it right there like that, okay? But it brings it kind of like full circle, this full circle thing on this album. Next on here is the Exodus skit again with, you know, his kids, and they're amping him up and daddy, 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 and that is like the most heartbreaking piece of this thing. Even on the next track on here, Letter to My Son, Call Your Father, those first bars on there, and I don't want to recite them because I don't want to mess them up, but those first bars on there are so just exactly that father to son type of thing, you know, looking in my eyes, and you look in my eyes and I look in your eyes and stuff like that, and just keeping it real. You know, that's one of these tracks that is just like you feel me? He's there with it. He's alert with it, and it's kind of like a premonition of him not being around, because you put these things out there like that, you would kind of feel like that. So I'm glad that he cemented something in there for his kids to just always go to and listen to it and feel that realness. It's one of the most realest tracks on here because he's talking about his family, you feel me, and talking about his son, and you could tell like he has such pride in himself and his son. So I really do appreciate this. I appreciate Usher and Brian King Joseph on there. And it closes out with a prayer, quintessential DMX. That's what he did at all of his concerts, you feel me? He most definitely gave you a prayer. It's weird because after his passing, it was a couple of like loose ass projects that came out, and one of them was like a prayer CD of all of DMX prayers, and I was like, you know what, this was kind of crass and lewd, you know, just to be doing shit like that. I didn't really appreciate that. But according to Swiss, he also like have like a gospel album in the works. I don't know how far Swiss Beats is really trying to take, you know, what's going on here, but if anybody have, you know, unreleased work or anything like that, it would be Swiss, you feel me? So we gotta see what's going on there. I did not get enough DMX, like I said, just that, like, you know, gritty, grimy DMX that we're used to. But, you know, that was him in his youth. He's you know, a little reserved, so I'm trying to take that into consideration here. But the parts of him, the mature parts that we did get on this album, out of this world. And I don't think a lot of rappers can really get that deep and that emotional, like, period, and we still respect their gangster for that. So I'm not gonna say I was underwhelmed, even though I was. You know, it's a couple of tracks on here I would go back to. You know, it's just really, really weird because I really just want more DMX. I wanted more DMX. And even though he really did want it to be feature heavy and all of these things on there, because I think, you know, he's trying to play into his strengths on there, that maybe he can only come in for a verse or something like that. But in that respect, it's the producer's responsibility to create this world around what the artist is actually capable of doing at the time. And I don't think this is being received well for somebody who, you know, they say they worked on a project right after the verses. You feel me? So it's been laying in wait for them to have that much time and for it to come out like this and switch using all these like cheat codes and a couple of things on here. I ain't gonna be honest with you. I don't know, you know, how this fares in his legacy or anything like that. I know that if you are a DMX fan, you're gonna be listening to, you know, his first two albums and all the other work that he's put in. This was like such a legendary person that I felt that this should have been really, really like bigger sounds, bigger this, and like a step into this era as well. And Switch, you know, he kind of stayed in his own lane and he didn't really elevate the situation at all on here. But let me know how you feel about the album. Let me know what is the best track on the album here. Like I said, I got a couple little things to really say and stuff. If you want to know how I feel about them, make sure you leave that in the comments below, and I will definitely let you know that. But I'm about to get out of here. I'm Meta Money. You can follow me on Twitter and IG at Meta Money Says. That's MADAMMONEYSAYS. And as always, I'll be seeing you guys around. Peace.
Ready, steady, aim at the target. I'm flooding the market, a break from the garbage. An artist, sensitive about mind pardon. No margin for error, flawless be rarer. The black cat goddess, you walking with a panther. Painting these pictures with words like Samantha, MacGyver. Alchemy on the track, make it lava. And I won't stop rocking till I retire. Singular or plural, she break numero uno. Colder than you know.